This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monty Moore with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow along and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at questions at talkmusiccity.com. That's questions at talkmusiccity.com.
I love it, Monty.
Carey Ann and Jason Hoover's in the house. Jason, thank you for joining us again today. We appreciate you, man. And all the responsibilities of being a broker of a growing company. I know you sometimes probably feel a little on the overwhelmed side, like I do possibly once in a while.
Not at all.
You know, when you're, when you're the broker of, we're in this office is in the top 20 offices here in Middle Tennessee of 1,152. My hat's off to you, sir. If I wore a hat, my head's too big. I can't find a head to fit me. But
that's amazing.
Team effort.
That's awesome.
It is.
Job, brother.
It's
awesome
so good.
Job.
It is
Very,
so
very,
good.
Very, very cool. Again, we talked about the who, not how last time. I could not do this without you, sir. You're my who. Okay.
Who.
It's the most beautiful thing that I've ever been told.
You're my who. That did sound kind of a little rare, didn't it? Well, Carey Ann, when it comes to mortgages, you're my who. Okay, Jim, when it comes to podcasts and all things around podcasts, you're my who. Are you okay with that?
I had a loan officer the other day tell me that he loved me, which in quotations, and I told that to somebody else, and he said, that's a little strange. And I was like, well, if you heard it in the context, it's totally fine. So I know that you love me too. So you don't have to. You don't have to tell me.
Does that make this Whoville?
Whoville, yeah, we're all who's.
When he told you that he loved you, did you do the awkward pause and go,
No, I said,
duly noted.
Yes. And I know his wife does as well. Well, because we're all headed to Hawaii here soon. You're going to miss me.
No wonder. I'd love you too if you're taking me to Hawaii.
Yes. But what was super cool is some of the folks, one couple's over 60, they've never been. Another's never won a trip ever for their hard work. And so it was really, it's kind of a cool thing to be able to.
These are your folks that you're taking?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Corporate is, taking them. But so what I did was I sent all these surprises over to their house, and I had real live lays, which you can get.
Live ones?
Yes, from Hawaii.com or Lays by Hawaii or Lays from Hawaii.com or something like that.
Wow.
And so they're beautiful. They came in ice and things, and we sent them and had them couriered to the houses. So their wives are all super excited as well. So
that's so cool.
And I'm going to bring mom. And so, this has been the couple years of creating memories, with mom and spoiling her rotten. And we're grateful for our parents, right? That taught us everything that we know and, put me through what she put me through. Want to hear a story about Meg? So it was...
This is your mom?
This is my mom. Mom's Meg, yes. And so she had really unique ways of raising us children. There was 4. I was the oldest. And I never really liked to clean my room. And she was really trying to get the point. And to a point where she wanted to write a book about this. And I was thinking she would go to jail for half the stuff she put us through. But never was abused. But I would get home from school and your little bralettes and your undies and all your clothes, it would be hanging from her trees. So she would...
From trees?
For her trees. She would take all of our clothes that we left on the ground and she would bring them outside and put them on her trees to try to embarrass us and use embarrassing moments in time to see if we would change our methods.
I resonate with that. I think I tried that a few times. I'm like, yeah,
and I'm like, did the HOA approve? That's, maybe we got kicked out. But
see, back in the day, we could do stuff like that. Now you can't even talk about it. You probably get arrested for talking about it.
I mean, and so there's many more. And we'll continue that saga, the raising the child.
Meg, we love you. Okay, we love you.
Oh, she's
I have some trees
amazing.
in my front yard. That may be a solution here.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
She had it all. Then she had the Hall of Rules. If you want a boy never to even want to walk into your house, make sure that they know there's a wall of rules. A hall of rules.
Hall of rules.
Which means they have to walk through the hall and read all the rules. And my mom would cut the things out of the old magazines about what does it mean if you have this disease or what is it does that. Like she would scare the living crap out of these. But I never had a boyfriend ever. I
can't figure out why.
No one ever wanted to date me because of Meg. It's really funny, but she has a lot of them. It's really kind of funny. And now she's grandma, and I'm like, yeah, I need you to be like how you were raising me. She's like, no, I'm grandma.
I'm
whatever
grandma,
Aubrey runs, she gets.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's not what I went through.
My kids are always telling me, hey, Dad, I tell them, lighten up, guys. Come on, cut them some slack. And they're, well, Dad, you never gave us any slack.
Right.
So
yeah, it's a good. I guess
she did a good job. That's all I can say. She did a really good job. Let's talk about our sponsor.
Yes, we're so grateful for Music City Removal. They're the #1 junk removal service in Nashville from residential, commercial, and construction. They're experts.
Too bad they weren't around to pick up all those clothes in the trees, Where were they when you needed them?
Exactly. Their costs include labor and dumping fees without any hidden or added expenses. So whether you need a full clean out or just one item removed, they have you covered.
The Music City Removal team knows the importance of respect and trust while in someone else's home. They understand the inconvenience of junk left behind by previous homeowners and tenants and are determined to provide an affordable and customer-focused junk removal service that puts you first. For a free on-site estimate, just go to musiccityremoval.com. That's musiccityremoval.com.
Yes, Music City Removal, because clutter ain't cute.
Shazam!
And nor were those clothes. You betting. All right.
Some great what
are we talking about today?
Jason, tell us what we're going to talk about today.
Well, we're talking about a gentleman. We even mentioned him on our last podcast.
Yeah.
This gentleman has been a huge impact in my life, many lives, and lives all over the world.
Huge.
And, big time. And so, I'm talking about John Maxwell.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't know John Maxwell, I just say go to Google, type in leadership guru.
Yeah,
because he
one
will
of the
pop
best.
up. He is
one of the best.
Yeah, he's the best. He's actually he's been hired by different countries or different services to come in and help.
Oh wow!
With organizing and redoing their leadership.
Wow!
And so, I mean,
you've seen him live, haven't you?
Well, yeah. So years back when they started the John Maxwell team, I joined it and for the coaching and the speaking and the training, and that's what kind of kicked my business off during that time because you could use his material and teach on it, which is fantastic. But the value was you literally got to be on a phone with John Maxwell. I think it was once a month he would be on the phone and pour into you. I'm not sure what they do now. It's been a while, but it was a life changer for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, again, everybody on this call should be the CEO of their own business, right? So we're talking about leadership. Whether it's just you, you still need to lead your own business, right?
Right. And so what we're talking about today is I found this article. It came across, and I thought, and I shot it out to Monte. I was like, this would be really good to talk about because it's real estate lessons for growth by John Maxwell. So it's really kind of taking in what he teaches, but it just shines the light on the real estate aspect of it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, coincidentally, one of the books I'm reading right now is Leadership in Tough Times. Yeah, and by John Maxwell, and I love the guy. When in doubt, when you're looking for a good book to read, find one with John Maxwell. I'm telling you.
One of my favorite ones. It's an older one, but one of my favorite ones for a business and for teams is everybody communicates, few connect. I love that one because you never think about it that you're talking among each other. You're sending emails, you're sending texts,
right?
And just to sum it up, he's like you're communicating what you want, but you're not really connecting with your team. And so it's pretty cool. I've had the opportunity to go into some small businesses and kind of take them through this process of some different examples and what do you call it? Exercises.
Yeah.
And it's eye-opening that, wow, we really are missing the connection piece of it.
And I think sometimes because, they're on your team. I mean, we're already connected, aren't we? Type of thing. It's sometimes we forget that even going deeper within your own team members can make a huge difference.
Well, let's talk about the first one here.
Okay.
You will never fulfill your destiny doing work you despise.
Oh, yes.
My passion is my work. My passion is real estate. I love it. I mean, I'm so fortunate that at a point in my life where I was a laid-off factory worker in the early 1980s, and somebody said, I bet you could make $30,000 a year. And I said, wow, that's twice what I'm making now. And so for money reasons, I went into real estate. But then I found my real passion. It became almost like a ministry of serving people, you know.
I think it's interesting. We both started in the factory.
Really?
Yeah. I built trailer hitches.
Really? I handled cat parts.
Cat parts? Oh, Caterpillar.
Okay.
Yeah, Caterpillar.
Well, that went sideways real quick.
That's too funny. Well, it talks in this article about you get your real estate license and you're super excited, right? There's that liveliness to you and your excitement for the business.
Right.
And then that one deal starts to go sideways and you raise your voice and you don't act like yourself and you have all this stress and all this stuff happens, and it really kind of goes into more detail about focusing and talking about how if you can stay in your lane and focus on what brings you the most joy, and then kind of hire out or divvy up the other things that could cause, find the who, yeah.
And that's one of the things when we have new agents come in is we take them through a foundation series of classes.
Yeah.
And the very first one, I started out with the very simple question is why? Why are you here?
Why?
And, we hear that a lot, almost to the point that it's almost kind of just washes over like it's not that not that deep. And but it's really a question that you have to dig deep into. Really, why is it you chose this business? Because there's going to be those times that are tough, and you're going to really ask yourself, why am I doing this? And it's during those times that you're pulling out your passion. Are you truly passionate for them? Because if you're not, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right, exactly.
But it's going to be tough to stay in it if you're not passionate.
This business, I just think you have to be, or you're not going to last. It can't be about the money. I mean, we're all money motivated to some degree, for certainly, and we're all trading time for dollars. There's no question about that. But if it's only about the money, you're not going to last. You're just not, unless you're just got plenty of money to throw at leads and you just go through the motions or whatever. I don't know. I think you've got to have a passion for people, and one of their biggest investments. I think your business, you absolutely have to.
Yeah, I mean, I love solving the problem. For me, it's a different problem every day. And it's exciting to do that. And then, you figure out how you can do it faster, and more efficient. And you kind of, in that, I do enjoy a good competitive. I'm a competitive gal, so I like the competition piece of it. They say when you get in the mortgage business, it's hard to get out because you do like that craziness of it all. There is that, you fall back on that hamster wheel and you keep doing the same thing, over and over and over again. But there is some joy with they think it's going to die. It's not going to make it. And then it makes it, it's like that, the drama.
Especially when you get one that is on its deathbed. And
I love
bring
that.
it back to life.
I mean, that gets me so excited, And I've done it so often that we make it look so easy, but it's not. It's not easy at all, and there's a lot that goes into it. But it is so rewarding because, I mean, they're crying. There's goosebumps. There's just it makes it exciting. You're just not alone. You're a need. You're a want. You're somebody that can really make a difference for them. So,
Carey Ann, when I found out you were resurrecting these, I said, I thought to myself, I hope that's not everything you become known for, because that's the hesitancy. So many that are skilled enough to ever get somebody to that point, that's their hesitancy, because that's not what you want to be known for. But you're known for being able to cover it all and do that, and it not hurt the rest of your business. And I love that. And
I don't mind being known for certain things because I do enough of them that it's still great. And I'm just grateful for every opportunity.
That's what I'm saying. I guess is you haven't differentiated. You haven't shied away from those tough ones because they are such a time suck and such an emotional, because you get, if you're like us, you get emotionally connected to the outcome there. You want everybody to make it, and not everybody does.
Yeah. Well, I only am doing it for 8 days, so it's not really that much of a time suck. The other lender's doing it for 60 days. So to me, I actually would 8 day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, they're closing so fast with permission of the borrower, and everybody is comfortable with the numbers, et cetera, et cetera. But
That's
it
called
makes it a huge
the
win.
Lazarus program, right?
I was about to just say that.
Raising from
We're
the
bringing
dead.
it up. We do.
The Gospel of Carey Ann.
Yeah. It's just the twiddle of the nose.
The shortest verse is Carey Ann.
So let's talk about the next step that
All
he
right, what do you
mentions, and
got?
that's the secret of your success is determined by
Yes.
your daily agenda. Is your schedule, is the tail wagging the dog, or are you in control?
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
What time do you get up?
Me? 4:20
4:20.
a.m.
Why 420?
You know?
I think he's manifesting, but he may not
I
know.
don't know,
No.
man.
He did
What
grow
are
up
we
in the
talking-
70s, so
You know, I think it's because I didn't think
he's
about-
dreaming.
I didn't
He's
think
dreaming.
about that.
He's hoping it may become here soon. Legal.
I feel so.
Mellow?
I feel so
very
abused
calm.
right now. You know?
It's just a relaxing time of the morning.
It's totally fine.
I seem to have the munchies at that time for some reason.
I don't know what you guys are talking about here. No, but seriously, my if you check my let's check our my.
Oh, just check it. All right.
If you haven't,
Just check it.
if you don't have this app, by the way,
Oh,
the
there's an
sleep
app.
cycle.
It's called the 420 app.
Okay, it's 4:30 now. Okay,
Okay.
it was 4:20.
That's a Maui, man. Come on.
Woo!
But if you haven't
Okay.
tried the sleep app, you need to do that because it gently wakes you up, but not just anytime. It wakes you up within a range based on your sleep cycle. It senses when you're at a higher level.
Oh.
And it doesn't just yank you out of the depths of deep
gotcha.
sleep. It hears you roll or something like that. Maybe it's why it gives you like a 20-minute
gotcha.
window. So
I
when I
do
say
Hatch.
4:20, it's really 4:15 to 4:35 or something like that.
Hatch, there's it looks like sunshine blaring in my it's a gradual increase of light in my face. And then
Same
no
concept.
joke, all of it, I'm like, will these damn birds stop chirping? Where the hell are the birds? And then I realized it is the like they're in my ear. It's kind of funny. But what time do you get up?
I actually get up at different times.
Yeah.
So, I'm not I tried the whole 5 a.m. club.
Yeah.
And I tried different methods, and to the point that it was very frustrating because, since I was a baby, I'm not a morning person.
Ooh, mm-hmm.
My productivity kicks into overdrive in the afternoon.
Okay.
And so
Love that.
that's when I'm actually really focused. I mean, so I knock out my classes, I knock out my interviews or anything that I'm doing. I knock it out during, from 10 on. Mm-hmm. But man, my creative juices start to play, probably around 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Interesting. I love that.
I'm done by then.
Huh?
I'm mentally done by then.
Well, and I guess it's just because I wake up later.
Yeah.
It's just my body's built that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Absolutely.
it was Hal Elrod's fault, that I get up early now. I mean, I was never a morning person. If anybody wasn't, I wasn't. And I was proud of it. Damn it. I'm going to push it as long as I can. But it's that whole concept. And part of it is when you get in the second half of life, which, when you're 69 years old, you're definitely, I feel pretty confident I'm in the second half of
You
life.
and Mom
now.
are hanging out in the same age group. Did you
Really?
know that?
No, I
She's
didn't know that.
69 too.
Well, she looks good for 69, I'll tell you what. But so when that happens, you get a little more urgent, I think, about the time that you have.
Sure.
And so that's one of the reasons why even if I don't have anything to do, and I've tried sleeping on the weekends, like I'm going to sleep in, and then so like 5:30 is sleeping in.
So another Meg moment. She would go around ringing a cowbell. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. No.
And she would say, "You can sleep in your box. It's time to get up." And she would be ringing a
cow.
cowbell. That's my mom. There you go.
more cowbell.
Yeah, she would bring cowbells to the tennis matches. Yeah, she was loved by a lot.
What time do you get up?
So I get up. I try to do the 5:30ish. Today was 4:30 because I had to do some things, and so depending upon the day,
Okay.
I kind of have to back into that. But I do think when we talk about daily agendas, whether you get up super early. Now for
Yeah.
me, I'm a mom too, so Aubrey gets up at 6. So if I know I have to get a lot done, I try to give myself that window. And my creativity starts at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I wake up with like. The girls at the office don't like that. But I'm realizing that there's a time in our sleep where there is some sort of something that goes on in our brains because I'll start, we got to do this. We got to do this. This is a great idea. And they'll get like 25 texts from me, for that morning. And hopefully they wish I don't say it needs to be done by 10 o'clock, that particular day. But talking about your daily agenda, I say, and someone taught me a long time ago, is just do 3 money-making activities a day. Now, some of us like to turn that up a little bit more.
You're working on 33 or something like that?
I have a lot. But when, coaching the average person who's doing nothing, just start with 3, and I don't know what your daily routine is that you have.
Yeah. So, I'm, as you can imagine, no shocker, I'm very organized. And so on my, I love Gmail for the fact that they have the notes sections on the side.
Okay.
If you look at it, I've got different categories for everything that needs to be done. So I've got a broker category, I've got a real estate category, I've got a rentals category, and then I've got a to-do list and a have to do list. Like, it's nuclear. You got to take care of it. Those only have at any given time 1 or 2. Those are like immediate. And so, so I'm knocking out. And if you want to put it into the perspective of the 12-week year, those are my blue chips. And so those are the ones I have to get knocked out.
Now, lead generation, do you time block a section of that too for lead generation?
So I don't lead generate anymore, but yes, when I did, it was, I owned my time. And like I teach our agents, you got to, and we don't have time for the story, but I teach them it's like a pet that as soon as you name that pet is yours. So if you're going to name that time on your calendar,
do it, own it.
That is your time. I'm not scheduling anything, doctor appointments, dentist, and if anybody calls me, it's probably going to voicemail. Because that is huge. my money time.
And staying consistent with that. I will tell you over many years, it was Monday between 11 and 1 for me. It was kind of, I used that lunch break time, but same 2 hours every time. Nothing else happened.
It gets easier once you do it. It's a habit, right?
And that may be making phone calls, that may be signing birthday cards, that might be, working on different, ways to generate the business. But that's huge. That's something you definitely want to be doing, and then finding the balance of working on and in the business, right? So you got to do that dance too. But
I think part of the agenda thing though is that time blocking as well, though, like you're talking about.
Stuff.
I think that's really important.
What else you got?
So pride defends us to
deafens us. I'm sorry.
Deafens us, yes.
Take 2.
No, that's just me and my eyes. I need glasses. I'm not going to lie.
Would you like mine? They're pink.
I actually found my glasses from a while back. They don't work anymore. Pride deafens us to the advice or warnings of those around us.
Right.
Pride,
that's a deep thought.
Well, that's pride comes before the fall, right?
Yeah.
It does.
Carey Ann, speak to that.
Well, I think there is a... the younger version of me thought I knew it all, and I made some really bad decisions back in the day. Keep in mind, I birthed into this industry in my low 20s. No one told me right, wrong, left, right. So I got an ego early, and I got a little arrogant early. And then I got slapped down a few times to a point where I lost my job. So I went from something and I went down. And I will tell you that there's some people that I look that are headed in that direction.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for those things that happened in my past, because I definitely will, I can see it now, you're only as good as yesterday, meaning there's something you can learn each and every day.
Right.
And no one, the 08 taught us. We saw in 08 some of the biggest builders go under, the biggest mortgage companies go under. Like they could have had, so much confidence and arrogance and things, and definitely just took people down. So, be true, stay humble, stay the course. Yeah,
and I keep talking about what we teach our students, but I still think it's very applicable here. Is that one of the questions when I'm coaching them is that. But what did you learn? And that goes both ways. Let's just say for a scenario, they hosted an open house and say, well, nobody came, or, there wasn't any unrepresented buyer.
Right.
But what did you learn from it? Well, it could go the opposite way. Hey, I've, sold this $2 million property and didn't even do it. It's like, okay, that's great. But what did you learn?
Right.
So,
good stuff.
You can't let it cloud. I guess I don't know how I can put this, but you can't let it cloud your view of what your business is supposed to be. That pride, and because I don't even know how to put this into words. It's like, how do you?
Hard one. Yeah, I mean, I also think that I know of some people that are struggling right now because they are so prideful too, and I don't know, it goes back and forth. But
yeah,
I know.
Let's bookmark that one. Let's bookmark that one and come back to it.
I know that in 2007, I lost most of mine because of that experience. And there's something really humbling about almost losing your home and get things getting so bad that you have to reach out to your youngest child and ask them for $3,000 to pay for the, and it was prior to that I thought I was bulletproof because I was making $500,000 a year. And one of the mistakes I think we make is in our industry that because we have a great year and we make all this money, we think it's going to be around next year and the year after.
Yeah.
And that we don't have to pivot with the change and pay attention to the tells out there of what's happening in the marketplace. And all of a sudden we can get caught like I did the day before the crash. I spent everything I had, plus I borrowed everything because I was bulletproof. And so I became far less prideful in that experience.
So I think I figured out what I was trying to say.
Okay.
It is
We're back.
I know we're back to it. But no, what I was trying to say is that humbleness is that what you learn from it.
Yeah.
It's that will teach you more than everything going right, and that you're killing. You're doing great in your business. I think you learn more from those moments in life, and those really create your success in the future. Oh,
the best thing that ever happened to me was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what
point blank. Yeah, it really was. And we can learn all that. And everybody's going to have one of those moments. And like you said, but what did I learn from it? And if I chose not to learn anything from it and just hate the people that caused the grief at the time, then I probably wouldn't be where I am today.
Right.
And we're going to find that we're venturing around that same mountain, recognizing the same scenery. We have to start paying attention. Okay, I'm the common denominator here. What do I need to change? What am I tracking in my life? For sure. Dreams don't work unless we do is the next one. Imagine
Dreams
that.
Don't work unless you do.
Imagine that. You have to put work. You have to do the things that that create the dreams.
And I think that's a lot of it too, because people come into this business, and I'm sure in yours, they have these big dreams. And some of them have these big audacious dreams. That's great, but the amount of effort you put into it does not match the dream itself. I mean, it's never going to get there. It's like trying to scale Mount Everest in shorts or something. It's like, okay, that's a dream. You got a great dream. That'd be really cool, but you're not equipped to do it.
And that's why there's only a few up at that top level, because they're the ones that truly are putting, the effort in it. We think those folks at the top level, they look like life is so easy, but I mean, there was a long road that got them, to where they are. The saying is, plan the work and work the plan. You can plan, you can make vision boards, you can do all this stuff that looks fancy, but if you don't work any of it, you're just not, leading towards anything. Back in the day, I created a girls club called the Executors. And, because stepping out, doing, executing on what you're talking about is the first step. And so I love that.
When is the last time you did something for the first time? Recently we had a contest. I asked all of our agents to please send in a video of why ROGMC. From all the other companies around, why did you choose us? Why are you here? And just a quick message from the heart. And the reason why I asked that is because most of us have a hard time getting in front of our camera and saying something. I know I struggled with it. I'm finally getting over that because I just finally come to the conclusion, okay, the old guy looking back at me, that's just who he is. I just need to be okay with that. And that was really hard, but it was surprising how few people were willing to take on, and the prize was $500. Because I wanted people to get out of their comfort zone just to share for a minute from out of their heart. And I think that's one of the main things that people have to be willing to do for the first time, if they haven't yet, is get in front of that camera, because the reality of the situation is we live in a society that does not like to read so much as they like to be entertained or watch a quick video. That's part of the reason why we're doing this, right, Jim?
That's right.
That's right. But seriously, and so be okay about doing something the first time.
It doesn't matter what age, doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. I mean, there's so many first times for me, just even recently. And you want that. You want to feel uncomfortable. The uncomfortable feeling is not good. I mean, it is awkward and embarrassing, and it's just not good. But then you do it once, and then you do it twice, and you feel a little more confident, you know, and you try something new, and you twist it this way, and you do, you know, different things. So whatever that is within your own craft. I mean, for me, back in the day, was talking to somebody that wanted to buy a jumbo. I was scared to death to talk to anybody that was so-called fancy. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just, they're going to say something that I'm not going to know how to, you know what I'm saying? I literally, I skated around that for years, you know? What if I did something 15 years ago? You know, where would I be today if I just allowed myself to be uncomfortable so long ago, you know, type of thing. So it could be as easy, and I say as easy, but I mean, look back 3 years ago for videos for me, and they're popping up so kindly on Facebook. They're quite funny to watch. But, you know, even those videos, you know, none of us are perfect. There's always, what do they say? A professional is always a beginner, or a expert was once a beginner, something like that.
They kept on.
Well, and it reminds me actually of a time at one of the John Maxwell calls, or it was one of his classes actually. They said that, you know, learn to fly on the way down. Just jump. And that resonated with me so much.
That's true.
And
learn to fly on the way down. You've jumped off the cliff, and you're learning to fly on the way down.
Yeah, because
that's
too
what a
many
mama
times
eagle
you become
says.
hesitant to leap, and you're scared. And they're like, well, you do it, and then you learn to fly.
You know, the first couple months with one of the loan officers on my team that you know, I use the terminology, I'm going to push you in the deep end, and then you're going to need to learn to swim.
Yeah.
And then she would learn to swim. She would get out, and I would push her back in. I mean, she could not breathe, right? And we did that for 2 months, and it was torture for her. But she's amazing now because of that. And so it's like a boot camp for yourself, you know, and definitely now you're out there. I mean, now you're in the deep end, or now you're in the middle of the air. So you got to figure it out. You know, there's nothing stopping you from that standpoint. What else we got?
If we are growing, we are always going to be outside of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
And that's so true. It's so easy just to become, you know, comfortable in that zone. You know, we're people of typically of habits and getting out of that comfort zone again, like whether it's getting in front of a video camera, or whether it's knocking on a door, or whether it's picking up the phone, or the things that the success requires in our industry, we've got to be okay about getting out of that comfort zone.
Well, even look at you guys in your own business, right? To make the change, I don't know, time's flying, so I don't know when the conversion.
This was a huge difference for me.
Yeah, converting to this new company, you know, that, but you saw, right? If you didn't make a change, and a very uncomfortable change, right? Things were going to look a little bit different for you, right? In down the road. And so we can do that in all sorts of our businesses. I was talking to a girlfriend the other day, very similar. And it's like, we have 4 choices. You know, we got to figure out our 4 choices. I said, we're very smart. We just have to back into each of them. And none of them seem comfortable. Like, you know, none of these are going to be. But I think that's when you know that you're pivoting. You're totally going to go to the next level.
I think this is really a good topic, though, when it says, if we are growing, we're always out of our comfort zone. In other words, if we're comfortable, then we probably better look around and say, okay, what do I need to do to get out of my comfort zone? Yeah. I mean, I have done that more than ever before here in the last couple of years, because, you know, I have a conviction that we're going to have $1 billion company, but before that ever happens, I've got to become $1 billion leader. So I looked at myself as the restriction of that happening, not outwardly, but inwardly. How do I become $1 billion broker? And that is to face the uncomfortableness of getting out of my comfort zone, which I have 1 million miles out of my comfort zone. Trust me.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we can definitely grow by staying out of there.
One more thing, and that is collaboration is multiplication. Carey Ann, I know you can speak to that.
I feel like that's a John Travolta song. It's electrifying.
Collaboration is multiplication.
Sandy. Too funny. Okay, so what's that? bring that to me.
Well, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I think this is a big part of the leverage.
Oh, the leverage, yeah.
And so, that's, again, something else that
I'm
I teach.
actually going back to Vanilla Ice. Collaborate and listen. As is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs hold of me tightly daily and nightly.
And that's a wrap.
Who is this? Who is this wild woman? Who is this wild
Too
woman?
funny. But yeah, I think you're onto something there for sure.
So, I mean, the only way that you can grow your business is to grow your personnel, and you leverage that. Going back to what Monte was sharing about the 80% rule, and where you're focusing on money making activities.
Stay in the green. Yeah, for sure. And the easy one for the real estate agent, right, would be to hire a virtual assistant, transaction coordinator.
And we kind of step through a lot of this in our classes. First thing is you hire a TC, somebody to handle your contracts to close.
Transaction coordinator.
And then if you, the next step, you can do a VA, a virtual assistant, a part-time on that one. It's still, the cost is very minimal, but the what they provide is big, because they're taking a lot of that just stuff off of your plate.
Well, and part of what you're providing there, Jason, I think by having that mindset is you're getting the stuff that you don't have to do.
Correct.
That you're not limiting your time on the planet to 20, what is it, $12 an hour? I don't know what they're making now, but it should be way less than what your time is worth.
Yeah.
But you have to get in that mindset to start with. You can't wait until I'm just so full I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Right.
You start with that mindset of delegation to that virtual tour, that virtual assistant.
And I would think too, teaming up with professionals that you can truly trust. I mean, I see more of agents like in firefight, or fire flight or whatever the saying is,
Fight
even
or flight.
Okay. We don't know what we're saying today. It's totally fine. But, on the lending side, they're just constantly stressed out, about this or that. And what could happen if you just focused and worked and teamed up with, lenders that you did trust, and we're here and we're available.
And it goes back to do what you're passionate about. So, having a business, there's parts of it that we're not passionate about.
Right.
Leverage that out.
Right.
Huge. Yeah. And yes, exactly. Continue to love what you do each and every day, because that will lead towards lots and lots of success. So this was a great topic.
Good stuff. I love John.
Thanks, everybody.
Again, love John Maxwell.
For
He's
joining
amazing.
us. We can't wait to have you come back. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.